Magic mirrors provide an interface that augments our surroundings based on contextual inputs. The team sought to create a solution that exhibits aspects of artificial intelligence such as facial recognition, sentiment analysis, contextual awareness, and a speech-to-text conversational engine, or what we'd refer to as a chatbot.
As far as the application goes, we decided to take a web application approach, something different, something that wasn't actually hosted on the environment. So we took something that we knew, something that we could spin up pretty quickly. The whole application is written using Angular. It's an Angular front end, it's a web application. Also through some demoing and some playing around with different frameworks, we ended up on the Microsoft stack, which is utilizing cognitive services. We integrated Lewis language understanding services. Once we got into that platform and we saw the capabilities that were in cognitive services, we relied heavily on there. I think the web application was a good approach. It allows us to host it, multiple different areas. It also allowed us to bring it into the mirror and several different mirrors on one set of code base.
The Magic Mirror is made out of butternut. It's a North American hardwood, closely related to American black walnut, but tonally is closer to that of white oak. Instead of selecting flawless boards, I chose lumber with checking and voids caused by knots, rot, and insects. These imperfections served as natural ventilation to keep the internal components cool, as well as allowed me to add a little slalom flair with blue epoxy fill.
I'm going to spin this around and show you some of the hardware inside. Right now we're just really running this off of a laptop. Originally we were using a Raspberry Pi. It turns out running facial recognition and voice recognition simultaneously at all times isn't really conducive to having a long-lasting Raspberry Pi. Fried a couple of them. So this is a temporary solution for now. We actually have a mini ITX tower. Here's the original implementation. Doesn't really work anymore. Don't throw that. And here is the new hardware. So we have in here a OpenGL graphics card that will allow us to do some really cool and fancy graphics in the background, make it look really sexy.
We started with a Raspberry Pi and started trying to integrate it with a Amazon Alexa. We kind of quickly found that trying to develop skills was more restrictive in the Alexa environment. So going on there, we started to do some searching around, looking at different mirror technologies. We ended up on an article by Microsoft where they had done something similar to what we were looking to implement.
We started with 5 features. We felt the mirror needed to be kind, empathetic.
Once we get emotion brought in, we can do some comparisons between the actual face and how they reacted. It'll make the mirror feel more intimate with that person as they interact with it. As you walk up to it, as it tries to either make you feel comfortable or try and figure out certain pieces of it. Take the traffic example for it. If you walk up to it and it knows you have an hour-long drive to work, it can reference the fact that there's a lot of traffic, maybe see that your emotion's not too happy about that, and it can offer alternate routes.
Visionary.
Right above the television screen, which ends about here, there is a camera mounted on the other side of the two-way glass that allows it to do facial recognition.
Intuitive.
Seeing as this is all a single instance of the application running in the cloud, it only requires a single update. You update the software once, and it's distributed amongst all of the instances of the mirror.
And neural.
So we integrated a product called PubNode. What that allowed us to do is, instead of creating direct WebSocket connections, essentially from the client to the server, we used PubNode to create almost like a chat channel between a mirror. What that allowed us to do is we can have multiple mirrors come back to the server, talk and get versions and updates at the same time. We can also take and send messages from the server back to each mirror. For example, one of the use cases we're doing it is every time there's an update to the mirror, we can tell each individual mirror to refresh and get its latest code base.
In the cloud, we've actually provided some protected APIs that would allow integration with other systems. We actually created a mobile application to provision. So not only do we have a regular provisioning app that can run on desktop, laptop machines, we also have a mobile version that allows you to take a picture and then from there, a completely separate application, ship that picture up through our exposed API and provision new users to the mirror.
When we started the AI project, we knew that we had to identify a persona to tie our stories to.
The end goal was to create a device that could reside in all Slalom office lobbies and automate many of the menial tasks that our office managers perform today. Most importantly, we wanted to do this in a way that bridges the human-to-machine gap and creates an experience that engages and delights.
What better persona than the office manager?
I kind of see the mirror almost as my assistant who can gather information for me that I can then come to at a later date rather than having to address everything as it happens. So I've been working on building a database of frequently asked questions just so people can, go to our internal website and say, okay, I have this question, let's see if it's on this list of frequently asked questions. When somebody goes up to the mirror and says, hey, what's the process for booking a conference room? The mirror will say, here's what you need to do. Or it can take it a step further and say, here's what you need to do. Also, these rooms are available right now. Would you like me to book them for you? The mirror will store that information for me and let me know, either by maybe sending me an email to my inbox, and then I can check that and say, okay, I need to address this. But it's not this kind of immediate in my face like, we're low on pens. You need to drop everything and order some pens.
Kevin, we are on Cheez-Its.
Okay, I'll get right on that. Thanks.
Now we're out of coffee pods.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Thank you.
We're out of seltzer again.
Oh, okay. I'll get right on that.
Thanks, buddy.
No problem. See you later.
See ya.
Also, there needs to be a specific function for the mirror for when people want chocolate, I think. Because probably the most asked question in this office is, do we have chocolate? If the mirror could screen out all the sales calls, that would be incredible. Thanks for calling Slalom, this is Kevin. No, we're actually not a boating company. Thanks for calling Slalom, this is Kevin. No thanks, I don't think we're interested. No, I don't think we're interested in that either. Thank you. Thanks for calling Slalom, this is Kevin. Yeah, nope, we're still not a boating company. If they could just have like a quick conversation and be like, hey, are you trying to sell something? No, hang up. Yeah, I would love that.
When looking into a mirror, regardless if it tells you what time it is or what the weather's like outside, it's hard to not focus on and try to ignore our flaws. The Japanese concept wabi-sabi demonstrates our approach perfectly. Wabi-sabi is centralized around finding beauty in imperfection and celebrates the natural patina of age, something that we all deal with on a daily basis.
Our clients see the value that this type of solution creates and how it directly translates to the problems they're trying to solve today and in the future. The advancements of artificial intelligence and the explosion in the number of devices ingrained in our surroundings is introducing brand new interactions that many companies are still trying to understand. Driverless cars, virtual dressing rooms, smart assistants, or the prospect of cashierless stores are just a few examples of these emerging experiences. Our clients are asking us to help them through this evolving landscape, and Magic Mirrors showcase the possibilities available when contextual interfaces are brought to life.